So it's time to kill the big frost spooder and there's no time to research. Don't worry, I got you, so let's get started. Alright, so this boss tends to be quite overcomplicated just because of what you can find in the journal in-game. I mean, take a look at this. Yeah... But in reality, the boss is quite simple. So the big spider has two phases. In phase 1 we fight and chase the spider up the room, and in phase 2 Sennarth gets mad and does some stuff. On to phase 1! Tanks, you have two things to keep in mind here. The first thing is that you'll have a tank debuff, that's your typical taunt swap around 4 to 5 stacks and you're good to go, and the second thing is that there's gonna be an ad that you have to tank. The ad has a cleave, so face them away from the raid. Onto the fun stuff, and I really recommend staying somewhat spread during the fight. You get this chilling blast, which is an explosion around each player that kinda forces you to spread, and then you also get mechanics that make you poop up webs, so being spread already helps you with that. Also, these webs, just don't stand in them, they can interact and I'll explain them in a second, but yeah, just don't worry about them. Now the big mechanic of Sennarth is Gossamer Burst. And this is a massive grip that the boss does to throw you out of the platform, and because the platform is full of ice, because yet another spread mechanic, you'll notice that you'll slide a lot because the ice is very slippery. The best way to counter this mechanic, since the pull is not that strong on normal nor heroic, is to have people be max range and use some personal movements, and potentially even gateway? Our guild prefers to use gateway on the ramps though, so I'll leave that up to you. And if you practice a little bit, you can also use these pillars right here to help you out with the grip. Now I do have to mention that the webs that I was talking about earlier can help you. So if you get a grip and you move into a web, you can actually stop the grip, but you're left with the stacking debuff. If you get 10 stacks of this stacking debuff, you'll be wrapped in webbing. This is just basically too annoying to deal with, and just using movement cooldowns and being max range is easier, so yeah. Now let's talk about ads. There will be a big spider and a few small ones, and you can just ignore the small ones. They don't need to be tanked or anything, don't do anything special. Just when you kill them, make sure that you're not standing on top of them, because they do an AoE explosion after they die. And that's just damage that you can avoid. As for the big one, it needs to be tanked, it cleaves, and it also deals a lot of raid damage. I'd swap this ad no matter what you're doing, and you'll definitely save wipes here. After a while, you'll be in phase 2, and once you get there, you'll need to interrupt the boss, and then spread out to drop zones of ice. You can either soak them, or just ignore them by standing outside of the raid with them. Instead of getting a grip, the boss will now do the opposite, a push, and the small spiders will also be around, and that's pretty much phase 2. Oh, and I almost forgot, the entire floor is now ice, so that's kinda annoying to move around. And to be fair, if you got some decent gear and DPS, you'll probably skip this phase entirely and not have to worry about phase 2 until you're actually in mythic. Lemao. Alright, thank you for watching, and if this helped you at all, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care! P.S. This is my first video in 2023 and I want to wish you a happy new year. Okay, now I'm out for real. See ya!